I want to thank everybody that is joining us tonight on the Monday night webinar for QxStart. And folks, you're here probably because one, you realize there's a problem out there, and two, you'd like to make a little money out of this. Well, let me go ahead and hit through these high points really fast. We're going to talk about the threat, we're going to talk about the solution, and then we're going to real quickly talk about how you can make some money at this. So folks, if you haven't recognized, and I think most of you have, your privacy is definitely under attack. You cannot turn on a TV show, a news story, go on the internet without seeing that, and in fact even the Oscars was talking about it last night, which is quite interesting. Well, quite frankly, there's been a big effort in the Senate and in the House to try to curb back some of these things that are happening with the NSA. And there was the USA Freedom Act. Well, I hate to tell you that that was actually died in the Senate. Right now it looks like our lawmakers are wanting to push forward. In fact, it's starting to shape up to be a political football for the 2016 presidential candidates right now, and which side do they stand on right now. The other thing you need to know is that Obama actually signed in an executive order giving additional powers. I believe it was back on the 14th of February this happened. Again, it's kind of that slippery slope that we're going down right now. And last but not least, the Chicago cops, if you remember the protesters that were happening out there this past year over some of the police shootings, the Chicago Police Department was actually using Stingray device, which is really intended for our federal authorities to kind of track down terrorist activity. But they're actually grabbing all the information off these cell phones, data, conversations, so forth, and it's being archived. A little shocking right now. But picture this. This was December 6, 2014. This was Chicago, Illinois. And now Illinois has made it a felony for citizens to record the police if they feel the police, in fact, are doing something that is not appropriate. Kind of shocking right there. Now let's look at this a little further. Congress just recently passed a bill to grant unlimited access to all communication of every American. Kind of see the theme that's happening right now? And last but not least, the ACLU has compiled a list of all states that are using the Stingray devices. And again, these are state and local agencies that are doing this. And now we're starting to see the states be the subject of lawsuits right now that are coming out because of the use of it. And last but not least, the NSA, shock, have come out and said that any form of encryption causes a form for the NSA. And of course, if it doesn't get any worse than this, the FBI says it doesn't need a warrant to track your cell phone in public. This was just a month ago. These stories, you can't beat it. They're coming out all the time. Now, this just happened last night. I actually did not see this, but John Fromming, our CEO, was actually watching this last night and could probably tell you a little about the people that are standing in this picture right now. But John, you're on, right? You on?
Yeah, I'm on right now. And thank you so much, Robert, and thank you for everybody being on right now. Yeah, right, this is actually, as we speak, the documentary Citizen 4 is actually being played on HBO. It's the story of Edward Snowden, and actually step by step goes through the process of what actually happened and what actually the NSA is actually doing. And the film was so good that it actually won the Oscar for the best documentary last night. And Glenn Greenwald is sitting up there, and that's actually Edward Snowden's girlfriend to the right of him. He's in the middle. She's to the right. And they were actually just talking about how privacy is really a threat to our democracy. Sorry, the lack of privacy is a threat to our democracy, and how this is such an important time in our lives to be focusing on our privacy, and how what Edward Snowden did was actually heroic, because we wouldn't have known this. We wouldn't have known that our privacy is so under attack that the NSA's compound in Salt Lake City takes up more power than the whole city of Salt Lake, because it's just the size of a football stadium that just sucks up so much power, because they're listening to every single conversation. And we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly here tonight, because for anybody that has HBO or wants to see Citizen 4, I highly recommend watching this documentary, because it does have such power to it, and you really will get a very good education of what is happening. This isn't sci-fi. This is actually real stuff that's going on right now. These are real things that are happening. So I'll wrap up, and thank you, Robert, for having me on.
No, thanks, John.
And we'll continue.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, also, before you go away, John, real quickly, would you like to kind of cover the Stingray? Because I know you have also focused on this as well.
Yeah, no problem. The Stingray device really is, it's a device that acts as it mimics a cell phone tower. So when your cell phone's looking for a tower to connect to, it'll actually connect to this device, and your cell phone won't know it. You really won't know that your cell phone's conversation is being listened into. But these devices are in the hands of local police departments right now. It's not just federal agency. We're talking an actual local police. Your county police departments have these devices in their cars, and there's cases in Oakland, and there's cases in San Diego, New York City, Orlando, Florida. There's a case, and also in Tucson, Arizona, where people are suing their local police departments because these devices really can pick up cell phone calls within a good distance. We're talking a few miles in diameter, and they're sitting there just listening to everything that you're saying because they can just pinpoint, and they can sit around and really listen to a conversation that you're having with your wife or your child or your grandmother or your grandfather. And it's something that really is a huge invasion of privacy, and there's the rumor has it there's about 2.5 million of these devices out there.
Yeah, no, it's quite a bit, John. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, folks, if you haven't realized, we've talked really a lot about the problem out there, but we're going to talk about the solution. And the solution right now really is the Kryptos communication app for the cell phone, for the tablet. It works on all these devices. And here's what I want you to focus on for a second. About Tech actually listed the 5 must-have security apps for the iPhone. And Kryptos actually came in as the #1 app security that you should have for it. That being said, we have Stephen Carnes on the phone right now. Steve is the developer, the person that actually came up with this whole idea. He is the one that has brought Kryptos to the mainstream right now, and we are so fortunate to have Steve as a partner with us. So, Steve, can you hear us?
Yes, Robert, thank you.
Can you tell us a little about Kryptos?
Yes, I was just waiting for a response to make sure you could hear me. Thank you. Yes, I developed the product back in 2010, and it was long before the revelations of Edward Snowden and all the information out there about the NSA spying and just everything else that's going on. I mean, I can hardly believe myself the place that the world is in. I designed the product with the intent of having it so that people could use it to have private conversations and make sure that hackers weren't listening in, as well as making sure that foreign governments weren't listening in on calls, especially for business people. Just corporate espionage out there and stuff like that. Little did I ever dream that the federal government would start doing mass accumulation of data and information in cell phone calls. So, it's just something that really I think has kind of come to age as far as our product goes. Kryptos is a voice over IP product, and some people would know of that as VoIP. It's where we digitize the voice stream, and then we encrypt that data stream. The encryption that we use is the same thing that the military uses. Thus, we call it military-grade encryption. It's 256-bit AES encryption. And I know that's a technical term that maybe a lot of people have never heard of before, but it's the same encryption that the NSA tells government officials that they should use if they're going to be talking about top secret information. So Kryptos will work in all but 5 countries. Actually, it would work in those other countries as well. We're just not allowed to sell it there. So, I mean, we do have a rather large marketplace available. We, since 2010, have had the product downloaded and in use in over 130 countries, so it is widely used. The reason that, of course, for partnering with QxStart is that while we may have reached into those countries, a lot of those countries we may only have 2, 3, 4 people in it that are even using it, because a lot of people that I talk to that become users, until somebody has introduced it to them, they're like, I never knew that a product like this even existed, for us out there. And I would like to mention that the product does work on all Apple products as far as the iPhone, the iPads, even the iPod Touches. It'll work on all Android devices, be it a phone or a tablet device, and it will work on 3G, 4G, as well as Wi-Fi. And when it works on Wi-Fi, if you have a device that doesn't have 3G service, like maybe some people have some iPads that don't have the 3G service, work just fine as long as you're on Wi-Fi. Matter of fact, if you have an old iPhone around, like many of us do, that you've upgraded but decided to just keep the phone rather than turning it in, but you disconnected service, as long as you have Wi-Fi, whether it's at home or at the office or wherever you're at, you can take that device that's not even connected to a carrier and have it work. So Robert, I appreciate the opportunity to talk. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover, just let me know.
There is, Steve. Real quickly, I always get this question, and I'm sure you probably do too. Why is it the telecommunication companies have to put in a back door for the government to be able to listen in to be compliant with the different country laws, and cryptos does not?
Sure, and that has to do with a law called CALEA, and that's the Communications Assistant for Law Enforcement Act. And under CALEA, the government requires that anybody that's in the telecommunications industry, so that would be your carriers like your AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, all of those, they have to provide a backdoor to the federal government. That even goes down to the equipment manufacturers. So if you've got a switching device, just any part of the equipment, as well as the handsets themselves that are being manufactured, they have to provide a backdoor. And they even go so far as to say that anything that is a substantial replacement, and what they define that as is, can you call a phone number with something? And in the case of Skype, with your Skype account, you can make a call to a cell phone or any phone number out there, or a landline for that matter. So it's considered to be a substantial replacement, and so they have to provide a backdoor. Our product is a standalone third-party app that sits on a tablet device or a phone that the user downloads on their own. You cannot dial a landline with it, so we're not a substantial replacement. We're not even close to being a replacement for the telecommunications industry. And we're merely digitizing a voice and then doing what the U.S. government actually suggests people do with data, and they suggest that you encrypt data. I mean, that's why we have encryption for credit card transactions, banking information, all that type of stuff. So that's why our product is legal.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Well, I appreciate that very much. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, folks, if you now we've talked about the thread out there. We've talked about the solution. Let's talk a little bit about how you can help QxStart and Steve with Cryptos really promote this worldwide, and how you can earn a serious income for doing that. We have QxStart.com, which you can see, our one product that we promote is Cryptos Communication. And we have a support site on there as well, which we're in the process of merging in here, which is called QxStart Help. QxStart Help is out of that little gold bar right there. You would click on that and you would go right over to the site where we have all kinds of tools to help you. We have our meetings tab. We have our graphics that you can download, the videos, the PowerPoint files, the news, the team videos, and the paper application. We also have another link on there too, which is our recorded webinars. So we haven't updated this screen. And what's really great to see right there is American Airlines, starting in April, is going to be running a 2-minute commercial featuring Steve and the Cryptos app and QxStart on that 2-minute video. And that's going to be seen on every American airline flight for about a 4-month period, which is going to be a lot of really good exposure. It's going to help out the people here really get this spread very well. The other thing is, on the help site, let's talk a little bit about how you can earn some money. We have 3 packages, a bronze, a silver, and a gold. Most people that come into this really are serious about it and want to make some money, so I'm going to focus right now on the gold package. To get involved, it's $159. What that includes is basically your $59 enrollment fee, which is for the year, and that also covers your payment to ProPay so that you can get paid, and they send you a little MasterCard card and everything else. But it's also a 10-pack of activation codes for the Cryptos app and everything. And what this entails here is it allows you, every time you sell a gold pack, you actually get an instant $50 commission right then. So let me give you an example. You're signed up in this program and you sign up 5 people. this week right here. Well, what happens is the next week, you're actually getting $250 from that effort. And that's right. For every 159, you're actually getting $50 back. It's half of the $100 of the Cryptos codes. That's what you get back initially. And then every month after that, it's $10 to you. Well, there's also matrix money. Let me go and explain on that a little bit here too. So real quickly, anybody here that has worked in a matrix, whatever, this is a 2x3 force matrix with 6 bonus levels. Essentially, it works all the way down where there's a potential of 4.1 million people. But let's kind of look in here in a second and explain how this matrix works. If you're starting right there at the top and you only put in one person, it's going to start on your left side, and if they start putting people in, it keeps building that. And you have a right side that just doesn't do anything. The only way that right side can fill up is if you sponsored another person, or if somebody above you sponsored, then the spillover would go there. So you see, your right side could fill up by somebody above you aggressively putting people in, because it would spill right down. Now, let's talk about the compensation program. Everybody really does start for free. When you come into this, you're getting involved, but if you want to start doing something, you're going to have to purchase one of the packages. So I'm going to quickly scroll over and show you how that works here real quick. I'm going to take the 3 packages, move them right over here, and show you how that works. Okay, now, if you look over there, level A, if you just bring in one person, you're actually going to be making money. I don't think there's any program that allows you to start making money with just one person, but this does. But let's use 6 as a good benchmark, because 6 is where you can get involved and your auto ship is already paid for. Okay, it takes care of it for you. It's a $100 bonus in there. So at 6 people, level 12, if you look across, as the matrix starts to fill out, you have a potential to get up to around $32,000. Now, would everybody get there? Well, there's going to be some holes and different things like that. But if those holes were to fill all the way up, and most of it could, you could be up to that amount, because there is about 8,000 people potential in that level that you could actually earn $4 per month off of. But what if you came into this program and you real quickly did 10 people in the first 30 days? There's an additional bonus for doing that. If you did that, not only would you make $500 because of the $50, but you would also have everybody that would be in your matrix at a $5 rate. As you can see, the numbers change dramatically there. But what if you did it for a second 30 days for a total of 20 people in 60 days? Guess what? It brings it all the way up to $6. And if you look at that same line 12, you can see how it changes the numbers dramatically for you. And it also qualifies you all the way down to level G. So as it starts to build up, you start making more money. Very simple. Now let's talk real quickly how simple it is to have somebody sign up. I'm going to use Dane, one of our master distributors, as an example. So he would type in dane.QxStart.com, and he would go right to his website. He would then go and click on the sign up link on the top where it says Join Now. Once he clicked on the Join Now, he would see his browser and he would see the URL there. Take your mouse, you click in there and you highlight it, and then what you're going to do, at that point it's going to look that way, and then you're going to hold down your control key and tap the letter C. What this does, it copies the link. Then all you do is, if you had an email opened up inviting someone in, just paste that link into that email by holding down your control key and tapping the letter V. That pastes it right in there. It makes it very simple for someone to go ahead when they get that email and click right on it. They would then in turn go right to your page. It would have your name on there. In this case it has Dane's. They would go right to it where it has your name on it. They would fill it out. Once they answered all the questions and did everything, voila, they're signed up. And the best part is they're automatically signed right into ProPay, because QxStart pays every week. It's very likely, as most people have done, that they sign up one week and the following week they're actually getting paid. Because imagine, you could sign up tonight is Monday, you could be signing up new people underneath you all the way, Tuesday through Sunday, and then the following week you're actually getting paid right to your ProPay account. And ProPay is really great, folks, because what it does, it allows you to transfer any amount of money that we send to you, whether it be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and up, for just 30 cents. And they do it within 24 hours, and it goes direct to your bank account. But if you have their MasterCard, debit card, the moment that we transfer there, that's available on the card. You can go out there and buy groceries, gas, buy an airline ticket, whatever it is you want to do, wherever MasterCard is accepted. Very slick. So folks, that's pretty much our program right now.